ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Today we are going to start a new text. The name of the text is Prabodha Sudhakara. I have circulated the text in Brahma Vidya group. Prabodha Sudhakara is a Prakarana Grantha attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. It is a small Prakarana Grantha consisting of around 257 shlokas. The name Prabodha Sudhakara means it is the moon of knowledge. Prabodha means knowledge. In this context, it refers to Atma Jnana, the self-knowledge. Sudhakara means a moon. The moon gives us light during night. Where does the moon receive light from? Moon does not have its own light. Moon receives light from the sun and gives it to us. Moon is not an original source of light. The original source of light is the sun. When we get the sunlight directly, often it is scorching. It is very harsh, difficult to endure. All of us are experiencing in the month of May. Direct sunlight is difficult to endure. But when the same sunlight comes through the moon at night, it is very pleasant. Therefore, the moon symbolizes pleasantness. Likewise, the teaching of Atma Jnana is basically given in the Upanishads, in the Prasthanatraya. What are the Prasthanatraya? Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutrani. These are the three source books of Vedanta. The Atmajnana, self-knowledge, is primarily revealed and elaborated in the Prasthanatraya. But everyone cannot easily approach the Prasthanatraya. If one tries to understand Prasthanatraya directly, it is difficult. The knowledge is revealed in a very cryptic way. And the knowledge and the teaching is not systematically arranged in most of the texts. Therefore, receiving the jnana directly from the Prasthanatraya is like receiving sunlight directly. For some people it is okay. There are people who work under the sun, even in harsh summer. You will find many people working in the fields. They are used to it. Their body can take it. But for many of us, it is difficult. In the same manner, for an ordinary seeker, receiving the knowledge directly from the Prasthanatraya is a difficult task. That is why the Acharya has composed a treatise, a simpler text. And in this simpler text, the same Brahma Vidya, same Atma Vidya is presented in a lucid and systematic manner. And with the help of such Prakarana Granthas, the pursuit of Brahma Vidya becomes pleasant. That is why the text is called Prabodha Sudhakara. It is like a moon of self-knowledge. Let us start the text. Let's chant Shloka 1. Nityanandaikarasam Satchinmatram Swayam Jyotihi Purushottamam Ajamisham Vande Shri Yadavadhisham. The author begins the text with the prayer it is our tradition to begin anything with the prayer. Any text is begun with the prayer. And the prayer is called Mangalam. The prayer in the beginning of a text is called Mangalam. Granthadau Mangalam Anutishtati. The author performs Mangala in the beginning of a text. Regarding the necessity of Mangala, there is a discussion in some other text. If you study Tarka Sangraha with some commentary, you will find an elaborate discussion on the need for Mangala. Why Mangala is needed. The purpose of Mangala is Granthasya Nirvignena Parisamaptihi. Completion of the text without any obstacle. When we start any pursuit, there can be obstacles. The obstacles are called Vighna. You start from home to come for the class. In between there are Vignas. Sometimes you cross the Vighna and come, reach in time. Sometimes there is a delay. People come at 9:15. What happened? I started at the right time, but there was Vighna. Bangalore is known for Vighna. Traffic jam Vighna. And sometimes it can take too long. So any pursuit can have obstacles, Vighna. And most of the Vighnas are because of some evil karma that we have done earlier. Our past karma produces these Vighnas. We might have done some papa in the previous lives or even in this life, in the past. And such papa fructifies. We don't know when it will fructify. Anytime it can fructify. Sometimes it fructifies before the class begins in the form of traffic jam. Unexpectedly something happens. And sometimes it can happen in between the class also. In between the class there is a noise outside and I cannot continue. So Vighnas are because of our previous karma. Therefore, in order to prevent the Vighna, we have to neutralize the previous karma with the help of a new karma. According to the Shastra, the papas that we have done earlier can be neutralized to some extent with the fresh karma. It cannot be removed completely, but to some extent it can be neutralized with the new karma. And what is the fresh karma that can neutralize the earlier karmas that could be responsible for a vigna? It is called Mangalacharanam, the prayer. That is why you will find in every text in the tradition there is a prayer verse. The author is praying to his Ishtadevata, and the Ishtadevata happens to be Krishna. Therefore, the author prays to Krishna. Yadavadhisham vande, I do namaskara. Vande, I do namaskara. Yadavadhisham, to the Lord of Yadavas, the king of Yadavas. Krishna is the king of Yadavas. All of you know very well. Yadavadhisham vande, I do namaskara to the Lord of Yadavas. And the Lord of Yadavas, Krishna, is described. How do we describe Krishna? Generally, we will describe all the characteristics of Krishna. Krishna wears a yellow cloth. He is a dark. He wears yellow cloth. He has a flute in hand, etc., etc. We generally give a saguna description, a description with the attributes. But the author gives an altogether different type of description of Krishna. He says the Krishna is none other than pure Brahman himself. Krishna is Nirguna Brahma, Nirguna Paramatma. The true nature of Krishna is Nirguna, free from all attributes. But the Nirguna appears in different forms so that the devotees can relate to him. Everyone cannot relate to the Nirguna. That is why Bhagavan takes many forms. But the true nature of Bhagavan is Nirguna, free from attributes. Such form is described. Nityanandaikarasam, The Krishna is none other than the Parabrahma, whose nature is Ananda, Ananda Swarupa. Ananda means happiness. Generally, we think happiness is found outside. We seek happiness outside ourselves, in the external sources of happiness. We seek happiness in material objects, in the inanimate objects like a car, house, sweet, etc. And we also seek happiness in animate objects, the human beings, other human beings, relations. Relations can give us happiness. We often think so. My wife can give me happiness. My husband can give me happiness. Son can give me happiness. Daughter can give me happiness. Friend can give me happiness. If we analyze, we understand that no external object, no external source can give us true happiness. It can only give a temporary misconception of happiness, a temporary false sense of happiness. Because the external objects themselves are not permanent. When the objects themselves are not permanent, how can they give us permanent happiness? Like wealth. How long can we have wealth? This gentleman has built a very beautiful house. All his life, he had a dream. I want to build a dream house. Not a dream house, a real house. I want to build a house. He had a dream. A lifelong, a long cherished dream. And he accumulated money. Little by little, he accumulated money to build a house. And then he built a big house. Dupli. It's called dupli, right? 2-floor house. Duplex, dupli. He built a big house in the heart of a city like Bangalore or Bombay. And then he was enjoying the house. By the time he built the house, he was old enough. He said he was around 65, 70. And then he started enjoying the house. And he proudly told everyone, see, this is my house. With my hard-earned money, I have built this house. It is according to Vastu, according to the modern architecture. I have built this beautiful house, and he was proud of it. He was very much attached to the house. Unfortunately, one fine day, he had to leave this world. Yama came and he died. As soon as he died, the house is no longer his. He did not have a son. He had only a daughter. And the daughter married against his wish with another gentleman whom he did not like. As soon as he died, they made his death certificate, and the house was transferred to his son-in-law's name, because he was the only successor. And then this gentleman, because of his attachment to the house, he was reborn very near to the house. He was born as a dog in the neighboring house, so that he can look at his house every day. Now what happened? This house is no longer his. It is already transferred to his son-in-law's name. Then one day, his son-in-law decided, I will break this house and construct an apartment here. A multi-story apartment. This is only 2-story building, old building. I don't like it, so let me call JCB and bulldoze this house, raise the house to the ground, and build a new apartment. Now the JCB came. It was standing there, about to crush the house. And at that time, this dog started barking louder and louder. Bow, bow, bow. Now you can understand why the dog barks sometimes. So, what I mean to say, the wealth that we accumulate in this world does not travel with us, does not remain ours for very long. We have to leave everything here when we go. The money, house, everything. Therefore, any material object, any material accomplishment is not going to give us permanent happiness. It can only give some temporary happiness. Where is the true happiness? The Vedanta Shastra says, the true happiness is not there in any finite object. The true happiness is the property of, is the nature of the infinite. What is the infinite? The infinite is Brahman. Chandogyopanishad says, Na alpe sukhamasti, bhuma eva sukham. Sukham, the true happiness, is bhuma, the infinite Brahman, the infinite Paramatma. Therefore, if we have to find happiness, we have only one destination. We have only one goal, and it is nothing but Paramatma. The Swarupa of Paramatma, the nature of Paramatma is infinite. And being infinite, it is the only true happiness. Therefore, Paramatma is Ananda. What kind of Ananda? Nitya Ananda. Eternal happiness. The happiness that does not deplete. Happiness that does not come to an end. Does not diminish over time. Does not deplete over time. Any other happiness has a graph. At some point it is at peak, and then it declines. But the Atma Swarupa, Paramatma Swarupa Ananda does not decline. It is Nitya. Nitya Ananda. Eternal happiness. Now one may ask, any other happiness that we experience in this world is mixed with pain also. Any other happiness that we experience is mixed with the pain also. In most cases, we experience the pain immediately. Dukkha sambhinnam sukham. The material happiness is associated with dukkha. You eat a feast. After some time there is problem in the stomach. Initially sukha, and it culminates in dukkha. Sometimes it is visible to us. But in most cases the dukkha is not visible to us immediately. But if we inquire into the nature of the material happiness, the material pleasure, every material pleasure is ultimately dukkha alone. That is why Patanjali says in Yoga Sutra, Dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. For a viveki, for a wise man, all material pleasure is essentially dukkha alone. Because any material source of happiness creates a dependence. Now it is hot summer. In olden days they did not have AC. They did not even have fan. Now what happened? AC came. Many of you have AC. Some of you will have only fan. Some of you may have cooler also. AC, cooler, fan. 3 options are there. So initially he got a fan. Then he graduated to a cooler. Fan is not enough. Let me have cooler. Then he graduated to AC. Let me have an AC. So when AC came, he said, now it is Sukha. But what is really happening? Earlier, even without fan, he could stay in summer. He could endure the heat. But now, because of the AC, since he got used to AC, he cannot stay outside. 10 minutes he comes out and he starts complaining. AC nahi hai. Starts complaining. I went to some office, an AC office, and for 10 minutes there was no current. A lady started complaining, oh, 10 minutes no AC. So, it is Sukha or Dukkha. See, all these electronic gadgets, all the modern comforts, they are making us dependent on them. And any dependence is a pain. Any dependence is a slavery. We are becoming slaves of so many external objects. I cannot live without it. I cannot do without it. It is slavery. Therefore, any material happiness is essentially dukkha. The true Ananda is only Paramatma. So the material happiness, the material pleasure is always associated with dukkha. Likewise, is the Paramatma associated with dukkha? The author says, the Paramatma is not associated with dukkha. Ananda ekarasam. Ekarasam means pure happiness. Happiness that is not contaminated by dukkha. Dukkha asambhinna sukha swarupa. Dukkha asambhinna ananda swarupa. Therefore, Nityananda ekarasam. Pure happiness. Satchinmatram. Sat and Chit. Pure Sat. Sat Matram. There is a Matram. Matram means only. Pure. Pure Sat means pure existence. Paramatma is existence. Sat. The Sat that we experience is associated with the names and forms. The table is Sat is associated with a name and form. Chair is. The existence is associated with another name and form. From all these objects, if we give up the name and form, and take only Sat, only existence, it is Paramatma. Paramatma is the existence who pervades everything, including us. Therefore, Sanmatram, pure existence, pure Sat. And Chinmatram, pure Chit. Chit means consciousness, pure consciousness. Consciousness that does not undergo any change. Consciousness that is not associated with the insentient. Satchin Matram, Swayam Jyotihi, self-effulgent. It is a description of consciousness. What is consciousness? What is Chaitanya? What is Chit? In Vedantic terminology, consciousness is called Chaitanya or Chit. What is Chit? What is Chaitanya? The best way to understand Chaitanya is Swayam Jyotihi, the self-effulgent. Jyotisham Jyotihi. Mundakopanishad describes Brahman, the Atma, as a Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is the light of all lights, light of all other lights. If we have to do any transaction, we need light. From the word light, we generally understand the physical light. But in Vedantic terminology, the word light is used to anything that makes an object evident, that makes an object known. The one that makes an object known is called light. The one that makes an object evident is called light. There is a beautiful shloka known as Ekashloki, Ekashloka Prakarana. It is a dialogue between a guru and a shishya. The guru asked the shishya, Kinjyotistava bhanumanahani me ratrau pradipadikam Syadevam ravidipadarshana vidhau Kinjyotirakyahi me Chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye Kindhirdhiyo darshane Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam Jyotistadasmi prabho. Guru is asking the shishya, Kin Jyotistava, what is the light? What light makes you know the things? With what light you are able to do the transactions? Then the shishya answers, Bhanumanahani me ratrau pradipadikam. During the daytime, it is sunlight. Bhanu, sun. And during night, pradipadikam, During night I have the pradeepa, lamp, etc. Then the Guru asks again, you see the sunlight, you see the moonlight. What makes you know the sunlight as well as moonlight? Syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakhyahi me. What enables you to see the sunlight as well as moonlight? In other words, what illumines even the sunlight and the moonlight? See, this object is illumined by the sunlight. But what illumines the light that illumines this object? The object is illumined by the light, sunlight. What illumines the sunlight that illumines the object? Then the Shishya says, Chakshuhu, it is my eyesight. My eyesight illumines even the sunlight. Suppose I didn't have eyes. Any amount of bright sunlight is of no use for me. Therefore, eyes are the ones that illumine even the sunlight and moonlight, and the tube light, and the lamp light. Then the inquiry continues further. What illumines even your eyes? Tasya nimilanadi samaye kim. The functioning of my eyes, as well as the non-functioning of my eyes, the closure of my eyes, even it is witnessed, even it is known. So what knows even the function of my eyes? Whether my eyes are functioning or not, what knows? Then the Shishya answers, Dhihi, it is my mind. My mind knows the functioning of my eyes also. Therefore, mind is the light of even the eyes. Then the Guru asks again, what makes you see the mind also? What illumines even the mind? What illumines even the functions of the mind? As well as what knows the absence of the mind? When you were in deep sleep, the mind was not working. But we are aware of the absence of the mind, even in deep sleep. Therefore, what is the light that illumines even our mind? Then the Shishya says, it is me. Aham. It is the Atma. It is the consciousness. It is the Chaitanya which illumines even the mind, even the senses. And through the mind and senses, it illumines the external world, even the sunlight and the moonlight. Therefore, it is called Swayam Jyotihi. It illumines everything else, but nothing needs to illuminate. It does not need to be illumined by anything else. In fact, The definition of Swayam Jyoti is Svetara aprakashyatve sati Svetara sarva prakashaka. It is not illumined by anything else. Meanwhile, it illumines everything else. Svetara aprakashyatve sati Svetara sarva prakashaka. It is not illumined by anything else, but it illumines everything else. Swayam Jyotihi. It is the self-effulgent consciousness. Purushottamam. Another description of Krishna. Purushottama. He is Purushottama. Chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita refers to Paramatma as Purushottama. Uttamah Purushastvanyaha Paramatmetyudahrataha Yo lokatrayamavishya vibhartyavyaya ishvaraha Yo mamevamasambudho janati purushottamam Sasarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Paramatma is referred to as Purushottama. He is Purushaha. Purnatvat Purushaha. He is all pervasive, complete. Therefore, he is Purushaha. And he is Uttamaha, the supreme, the greatest. Therefore, Paramatma is called Purushottama. Ajam, another description, Ajam. Aja means no birth. Paramatma does not have a birth, does not have a cause. No beginning. When did the Paramatma begin? No answer. He has been there forever. And since no Janma, no Mrityu also, no death also. Brahman does not have birth and death. Isham, he is the Isha, the Lord, the Ishvara. With the help of Maya, on account of the Maya Shakti, he becomes Ishvara. From the standpoint of the universe, he is Ishvara. Shri Yadavadhisham Vande. I do such Paramatma, who is present as the Lord of Yadavas, as the Krishna. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Govinda.